The 4-1 49ers face off against the 4-1 Buccaneers in what could be a future playoff showdown. Now, the 49ers and Buccaneers are both banged up. 49ers a little bit more than the Bucs, but a lot of the Bucs' weapons are impacted. Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, but you've had, the emergence of M'Baku. And so the 49ers really need to take care of business in the trenches. The problem is that's not one of the 49ers' strong suits. Their defensive line is banged up, especially without Nick Bosa. You talk about the average points per game given up, average number of yards given up has skyrocketed since Bosa is out for the year. Now, on the Buccaneers side, they own the number one run defense in the NFL, anchored by Vita Vea right in the middle. That means if the 49ers are going to be successful, they need to run those screens. They need to get those outside zone runs. And you really need McCaffrey in this game, but probably more as a receiving threat and outside zone run threat. Use Brian Robinson to try to stay honest with the run up the middle, because there's a few things we know. Todd Bowles is going to blitz and blitz and blitz. That's what he's known for. That's what he's going to do against the 49ers. And with Mac Jones slated to start, even while still recovering from that PCL injury, the entire NFL knows that Mac Jones already is limited in his mobility. But the fact that he's also nursing a PCL injury means he's going to be open game for the Buccaneers. So expect a lot of blitzes. So the 49ers are going to need a lot of hot reads. They're going to need the outside zone run to really slow down that blitz. A lot of play action if they can afford to do that, if they have the time. But the 49ers offensive line is going to have to step up, because the Buccaneers own the number 4 overall defense in the NFL, but again, the number 1 run defense. So they are a pretty stingy, sticky defense. And if the 49ers are going to show up this week, Kyle Shanahan's going to have to go into his bag of tricks. I don't believe George Kittle is going to be playing in this game. He's looked great at practice, but the last thing we heard from John Lynch is it looks like next week is when he will probably come back. But who knows? Time changes everything. We saw Juwan Jennings started practicing this week in a limited fashion. I don't see him back this week either. But the fact that Ricky Pearsall was also warming up on the side, that's also promising. But it looks like the 49ers are going to lean a lot on Mac Jones and Kendrick Bourne again. And we'll see what happens. The 49ers are going to have to try to stop that run. But they're going to have to manufacture pressure. Because even though the Bucs have the 22nd ranked run offense, that's not their bread and butter. Their bread and butter is the passing game. And Baker Mayfield has been on an MVP track this year. And so if the 49ers are going to stop him, they're going to have to blitz. Robert Saleh is going to have to get into his bag of tricks. And we'll see what happens. Who ends up at 5-1 and who ends up at 4-2.